Hey folks, we're going to do some more arteries and veins today. We're going to do the thoracic cavity. So let's go back to our cat and let's get in there. So we got our heart, got a very nice heart, kind of squishy in here. And when we look at our heart, we can see our two auricles. Okay, we got our two auricles right there. Let me turn this a little bit like that. And right in between the two auricles, we got our pulmonary trunk. Kind of empty looking right now, which makes sense because the cat's dead. So there's the pulmonary trunk. So easy just to stab a pin right in there for a lab practical. Right behind the pulmonary trunk, still kind of buried, we got our aortic arch right here. Still got a little bit of connective tissue on it. But there's our aortic arch right there. And coming off the aortic arch, we can see two arteries right there. Two arteries. Let me get rid of some of this junk in here. But I got two arteries right there, as I dissect while we're filming. So my two arteries are, in fact, my brachiocephalic artery, which is the first one, the one on the right, and then the left subclavian artery. The left subclavian artery is going to keep going up. As it goes up, it's going to give rise to the left axillary, brachial, radial ulnar arteries as we keep going out towards the cat's paw on the left there. One thing we can notice about this subclavian artery is right here, I'm poking a little artery that has been cut. That poor little cut artery is the internal thoracic artery. It was cut when they removed the breastplate, when they removed the thoracic wall, it got cut. No big deal. Let's go over to the one on the right here. This guy here is the brachiocephalic artery. Now, a cat has two branches off its aortic arch, whereas a human like me is going to have three. In a human, in between the brachiocephalic and the left subclavian, we're going to find a left common carotid. But we don't see that here. The reason we don't see it here is because if we walk up on the brachiocephalic, the left common carotid is right there. So this first branch right here, the one that's leftmost, is the left common carotid. And if we follow the left common carotid up, we can see it right next to the trachea. And if we keep going up, we would eventually, hopefully, see it split into an internal and an external carotid. The middle branch here, if I can get underneath it a little bit, there we go. The middle branch of the brachiocephalic artery right here is the right common carotid artery, which we can then follow upward alongside the trachea as it goes up into the neck. The last branch we've got right over here, that's the right subclavian artery, which is going to do the same thing that the left subclavian did. The only asymmetrical thing is where we start. On the right side, we're starting from the brachiocephalic. On the left side, we're starting from the aortic arch, which I almost forgot there. That was the reason for that pregnant pause. What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's pull our left lungs aside a little bit. And when I do that, we can totally see the outline of the thoracic aorta. I can get the probe underneath the aorta right there. And as I do this, not only do I see that aorta, but I also see little intercostal arteries coming off of it. Little tiny intercostal arteries right there, which is cool. And I can see my esophagus right here. I can grab my esophagus and squeeze it. All right, what else? I think that's it for arteries. Do we see any coronary arteries in the wall of the heart? Sometimes they take the dye, sometimes they're too small. Too small. So we'll come back and we'll do veins next time.